Kaiser Wilhelm II, the withered emperor, on the slab. It is the 4th of June, 1941, and the House of Dawn in the Netherlands is draped in silence. Wilhelm II, the last German Kaiser, grandson of Queen Victoria and the man who dragged Europe into the First World War, is dead at 82. Once the swaggering monarch of the mightiest empire on the continent, Wilhelm died not in Berlin but in exile, a dethroned relic. He had lived long enough to see the rise of Hitler, a man he distrusted and resented, and now, after decades of bitterness, his body has finally given out. The official cause of death? A pulmonary embolism, a blood clot in the lungs. But if we placed him on the mortuary slab, what story would the Kaiser's body tell? The last days. Wilhelm spent his exile pacing his Dutch estate, chopping wood obsessively to prove his strength. But by 1941 the old emperor was frail. He suffered from angina, his chest tightening with exertion, his legs were swollen with fluid, he had crippling arthritis in his joints, and, of course, there was the arm. From birth his left arm had been withered by a traumatic delivery. He hid it in portraits, tucked it into uniforms, but in old age it was shriveled and useless, a permanent reminder of frailty. On the 4th of June, after complaining of chest pain, Wilhelm collapsed. Within hours he was gone. The external examination. On the table lies a tall but shrunken man. His frame, once imposing in Prussian uniform, is stooped and frail. The skin is papery, bruised, marked with the blotches of poor circulation. The right arm is muscular, strong from decades of overuse. The left arm is thin, wasted, shriveled, barely more than bone and skin. His legs are swollen, pitted with edema. His belly is distended with fluid. The face is pale, lips bluish. This is not the strutting Kaiser of 1914. This is an old man undone by his heart. Opening the chest. The chest is opened. The heart is large, its walls thick, its arteries hard as stone. Advanced coronary artery disease, years of high blood pressure and strain had weakened it. The lungs are congested. In one of the main arteries, a massive blood clot sits lodged, the pulmonary embolism that killed him. Blood flow to the lungs was cut off in seconds. His final collapse was sudden, brutal, and inescapable. The lungs also show old scarring, pneumonia and bronchitis in the past. Into the abdomen. The abdomen reveals further damage. The liver is congested, its surface bumpy from chronic heart strain. The kidneys are small and scarred, chronic kidney disease from years of hypertension. The intestines are pale, showing poor circulation. The stomach is modest, he had eaten sparingly at the end. Fluid fills the abdomen, ascites, the swelling of end-stage heart failure. The brain. The skull is opened. The brain is smaller than in youth. The surface furrowed with deep lines of atrophy. The arteries are narrowed, stiff. Several small scars show where mini-strokes had struck in earlier years. This explains Wilhelm's irritability, his confusion, his bouts of sudden rage in old age. His brain was literally short-circuiting. Modern diagnosis. If we wrote the certificate today, cause of death, pulmonary embolism, contributing conditions, severe coronary artery disease, chronic heart failure, hypertension, chronic kidney disease, arthritis and disability from birth injury, multiple minor strokes. In plain English, Wilhelm was undone by the slow decay of his heart and vessels, finished off by a fatal blood clot. The final irony. Wilhelm spent his life trying to project strength, the powerful Kaiser, the supreme warlord, but his body told the truth. Born with a crippled arm, crippled again by disease, he died not on a battlefield or in a palace, but in exile, felled by a clot in the lungs. The man who once thundered commands across Europe ended gasping in a Dutch country house, powerless, his empire long gone. So there lies Kaiser Wilhelm II on the mortuary slab, a body swollen with fluid, heart hardened by disease, lungs struck by a killer clot, brain scarred by age. The last Kaiser, the grandson of Victoria, undone by his own failing vessels. That was past people, Wilhelm II, one emperor, one withered arm, Maximum downfall.